My mother-in-law mocked my daughter's speech impediment, so I corrected her improper English until she left our house in tears. I never thought I'd make my mother-in-law cry at our dinner table, but after what she did to my 5-year-old daughter, I don't regret it for a second. My daughter Sophia has childhood apraxia of speech, a neurological condition that makes it difficult for her to coordinate the muscle movements needed for clear speech. She's been in speech therapy since she was 3, and she works incredibly hard. While her speech has improved dramatically, she still struggles with certain sounds and complex words. My husband Miguel and I have always been careful to correct her gently when necessary, celebrate her progress, and above all ensure she feels confident when communicating. Her therapist has been clear. Building Sophia's confidence is just as important as improving her speech. Enter my mother-in-law, Elaine. Elaine has never hidden her disappointment that we're raising Sophia bilingual, Spanish and English. She's convinced that Miguel's foreign language is somehow responsible for Sophia's speech issues, despite multiple specialists explaining that bilingualism and speech disorders are entirely unrelated. Last weekend, Elaine came to stay with us for what was supposed to be a 4-day visit. Every time Sophia spoke, Elaine would dramatically cup her ear and say, "What was that? I can't understand you, quite properly." When Sophia asked if she could wife her dolls, Elaine looked directly at me and said, "You are doing her no favors by ignoring her speech problems." I took Elaine aside and explained Sophia's condition, the therapy she's receiving, and how important it is for her confidence that we don't make her feel ashamed of her speech. Elaine nodded and said she understood. That evening at dinner, Sophia was excitedly telling everyone about a butterfly she'd seen at school. She struggled with the word butterfly, pronouncing it as beautfly. Elaine interrupted her. No, 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 say it right, butterfly. If you can't speak properly, don't speak at all." She put down her fork and stared at her plate, tears welling in her eyes. Miguel started to speak, but I placed my hand on his arm. A lifetime of trying to keep the peace with his mother had rarely worked. It was time for a different approach. "Actually, Elaine," I said pleasantly, "you've used ain't twice today, which isn't proper English. And you said me and John went shopping earlier, when it should be John and I. If you can't speak properly, perhaps you shouldn't speak at all." Elaine looked stunned. "That's just casual speech. It's different, is it? You just pronounced different as a different. Please try again with all 3 syllables." Throughout the rest of dinner, I corrected every slight grammatical error, every colloquialism, every dropped consonant in Elaine's speech. When she said she was fixin' to have dessert, I asked her to clarify what she was repairing. When she mentioned being real tired, I explained that really is the proper adverb form. After 20 minutes, she was barely speaking. After 30, she was in tears. "You are humiliating me on purpose," she finally said. "Exactly," I replied calmly. "It doesn't feel good. Does it? Imagine how Sophia feels when you do this to her. The difference is that she's 5 years old and has a diagnosed speech disorder while you are an adult choosing to be cruel." Elaine left the next morning instead of staying for 4 days. Miguel's sister called to say I'd been incredibly disrespectful to their mother. Miguel, however, thanked me for doing what he should have done years ago. That night, Sophia asked if Grandma was mad at her because she talks wrong. "You don't talk wrong," I assured her. "You talk like Sophia and that's perfect. Grandma was upset with me, not you. And sometimes adults need to learn the same lessons we teach children about being kind." We're working on arranging a family session with Sophia's speech therapist before Elaine's next visit, because while I won't tolerate anyone hurting my daughter's confidence, I'd rather educate than humiliate parent. I just needed to make a point first. Sometimes the most important language lesson isn't about how we speak, but about how our words make others feel.